All right, hey everybody, this is James Detroit, and I've taken basically a month off to try to take a look at things and see what kind of a difference we might be able to make. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to try here sharing with you some current events from a historical perspective, and I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for sharing this with somebody else. Looks like I have 41 subscribers that have stuck with me. Whether that's good or bad, I don't know. In this month-long break that I took, watching everything that's going on, some of the things I would like to comment on right now. The first of which is RBG, the Supreme Court Justice that has passed away. As I look at this, the very first thing I noticed was her granddaughter decided to politicize this within hours of the news breaking. In her death, it becomes immediately a partisan issue. And you say, well, of course it is. How sad is that? How sad is the fact that you have the death of a family member become a political issue? It's disturbingly sad. Because I don't have the same respect that a lot of these people just shout out there, oh, she was, it's such a, she was a woman and held strong and all of these things. Okay. She was a lioness for the left's law. Her jurisprudence was nothing short of activism from the bench. The Supreme Court justices are to interpret the law and the Constitution. She did neither. Beyond her activist position for the left. Roe v. Wade is considered, she was a staunch supporter for that. Roe v. Wade is a non-issue. Even the decision back in the 70s, it simply stated that because they could not prove at that time that life began at conception, then the baby does not have a right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. But in that decision, it clearly states, if it was able to be proved that that was a life, then that life, the voice for those who don't have a voice, would be the Constitution, and therefore it would demand that you would have to allow that life to be able to have life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Well, guess what we've had in the last 45, 50 years? The ability to be able to prove that that is indeed a life inside of that mother's womb. So Roe v. Wade's a non-issue. But the partisanship of even, how disturbingly sad is it that your last words, supposedly, were that I don't want this president to replace me? If that was really the case, when asked by the Obama administration, because she had battled cancer, to be replaced by Obama, she didn't want to. She was selfish then, and she's attempting to be selfish now, but the president and the Senate have a constitutional obligation. I've long said most of these politicians commit treason on a daily basis. The attempt to not commit treason, that means they have an oath to uphold the Constitution. The president and the Senate's attempting to do that, and all you hear about is we have to wait for the election. The partisanship on the left, you think for 1 second that if Obama held the Senate, he would have ever waited? No. They'd push this thing through in days. And the media would convince you that it's the right thing to do. Instead, it's the other way. They convince you it's the wrong thing to do. One last thing I wanted to comment on. I just passed a street sign down the road. Any functioning adult 2020. And I thought to myself, wow, that guy must be voting for Donald Trump. I know what you're thinking. No, that's not what the sign means or what the guy's trying to say. Well, first of all, it's pretty obvious that of the two candidates of the two major parties, the most functioning adult is our president. His policies have been the most efficiently functioning to try to correct many years of bureaucratic wrongs against the middle class Americans. Any functioning adult, automatically I think, well, Biden's out. He can barely get through a day. His handlers are really coming up on a very difficult time when it comes to the debates and other things. So any functioning adult, I'm thinking to myself, okay, that's a guaranteed vote for Donald Trump. And I realized that the guy putting the sign up probably doesn't think I'm thinking that, but that's what it's saying to me. I'm looking forward to throwing out a few more of these exchanges, but historically speaking, whether it's 23 times or 32 times that the President of the United States has had an open Supreme Court seat and the Senate, he has a constitutional obligation. So let's not listen to the senator from West Virginia who said it's only happened 13 times, or no, it hasn't. It's funny how the fact checkers don't get the facts right. So I hope that you will do your own investigating, and I hope that you will seek, and maybe I'm part of that, but seek new information, a new take on things, kind of like the yard sign, a new take on the yard sign. Thank you for joining. I appreciate it. As always, I'm James Detroit. Until next time, I'm out.